What if I told you that this little healthy choice or lean box is actually a ticking time bomb of salt, sugar, and hard-to-pronounce chemicals, secretly messing with your blood pressure, your heart health, and even your mood? Are you someone who relies on frozen meals from the grocery store for their convenience and ease of preparation? While these meals may seem like a convenient solution when you're short on time or energy, it's important to be aware of the potential risks they may pose to your health. In this video, we'll explore the hidden dangers of frozen meals and why it is worth considering healthier alternatives. Now, let's get started. Let us begin with the primary danger in these meals: the excessive levels of sodium, sugar, and saturated fat. Manufacturers use these ingredients to enhance flavor and extend shelf life. However, their high levels of consumption can lead to serious health consequences. Let's first consider sodium. The American Heart Association recommends that adults consume no more than 2,300 milligrams or mg of sodium per day. For those with high blood pressure, that limit is even lower, at 1,500 milligrams. Now, let's examine the reality. For instance, let's take a very common item: a Marie Callender's chicken pot pie. A single pie, which is one serving, contains approximately 1,190 milligrams of sodium. Or consider another specific example: a classic banquet Salisbury steak meal. This single-serving meal can have upwards of 1,300 milligrams of sodium. This means one meal alone can provide half to two-thirds of your entire recommended daily sodium intake. Regular consumption is directly linked to elevated blood pressure and an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Beyond sodium, sugar and saturated fat are also significant concerns. Sugar is often added to sauces and coatings. Saturated fat, used to improve texture, is known to raise LDL, or bad cholesterol levels, contributing to heart conditions. So what is the necessary course of action? The most important step is to diligently read the nutrition information label. Make it a habit to check the back of the package before you purchase. Actively look for and select options with lower numbers for sodium, sugar, and saturated fat. Prioritize meals that are based on whole foods, such as lean proteins, a variety of vegetables, and whole grains. Making these informed choices is an essential step in safeguarding your long-term health. Beyond the nutrition numbers, we must address another issue: the marketing claims on the front of the box and the actual ingredients within. Many frozen meals are engineered to appear healthy. The packaging may show vibrant vegetables and lean meats. The nutritional reality, however, is often disappointing. Pay close attention to marketing terms. Words like lean or light are regulated terms, often meaning the product has fewer calories or fat than a traditional counterpart. But this does not mean they are low in sodium or less processed. These words can provide a false sense of security. The true story of your food is told in the ingredient list. Here is a critical rule: if the ingredient list is long and full of chemical terms you do not recognize, it is a clear indicator of a highly processed product. Instead of a simple chicken breast, you might find formed chicken, modified food starch, and sodium phosphates. The actual vegetable content can be minimal, overshadowed by sauces and fillers. Another danger is portion distortion. Be wary of labels like family size or hearty. The nutrition facts on these packages often apply to a small serving size. It is very easy to consume 2 or 3 times the listed calories and sodium without realizing it. So, what is your defensive strategy? First, prioritize products with short, understandable ingredient lists, with whole foods like chicken, broccoli, brown rice listed at the top. Second, consider the frozen item a base, not the entire meal. Supplement it with a large, fresh salad or a side of steamed vegetables to significantly boost its nutritional value. Third, always verify the serving size. Measure out a single portion onto a plate rather than eating from the container. This provides conscious portion control. Now, let's focus on a specific category of chemicals often found in those long ingredient lists: preservatives. Their primary function is to extend shelf life and prevent spoilage. However, this convenience may come at a biological cost. Let us examine some common examples. Butylated hydroxyanisole, or BHA, and butylated hydroxytoluene, or BHT, are frequently used in frozen foods. Worryingly, scientific bodies have classified these substances as potential carcinogens. They have also been linked to thyroid dysfunction, endocrine disruption, and neurotoxicity. Another preservative to be aware of is tertiary butyl hydroquinone, or TBHQ. This is used to prevent fats and oils from going rancid. While the FDA permits its use in small quantities, independent studies have indicated a potential link to carcinogenic and cytotoxic effects at higher doses. Its presence in our food supply is a valid cause for concern. So how do you avoid these chemicals? Your defense is once again to be a vigilant reader of the ingredient label. Take the time to scan that list. Specifically, look for these acronyms: BHA, BHT, and TBHQ. If you see them listed, that is a clear signal to place that product back on the shelf and find a cleaner alternative. Prioritize products that use natural preservatives, like vitamin C, ascorbic acid, or rosemary extract, or ideally have no preservatives at all. Beyond the ingredients listed on the box, we must also consider the cooking method a product is designed for. Often, the health risk is not just in the food itself, but in how it is prepared. Many frozen products, particularly appetizers and snacks, are engineered to be deep-fried or pan-fried in a significant amount of oil. While this method creates a desirable crispy texture and flavor, it also dramatically increases the calorie count and unhealthy fat content of your meal. When food is submerged in hot oil, it absorbs a substantial amount of that fat. Think of items like frozen French fries, mozzarella sticks, onion rings, or breaded chicken wings. These foods are designed for a texture best achieved by frying, a process that inherently adds a layer of unhealthy fat and calories that may not be fully reflected on the as-packaged nutrition label. So what is the strategy here? First, limit or avoid purchasing products that list frying as the primary or recommended cooking method. Second, if you do choose these items, consider alternative preparation methods.
Using an air fryer or baking them in the oven can achieve a similar texture without submerging the food in unhealthy fats. The healthiest approach, however, remains to prioritize foods that are best prepared by steaming, baking, or light sautéing, methods that do not require the addition of excess fats.
If you're still watching and finding these details valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave the number 6 in the comments below, just to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll consider subscribing and ringing that bell so you don't miss a thing. Your support is what allows us to keep creating helpful content to inform and inspire you. Now let's get back to it. The problem does not end with ingredients or cooking methods. The very nature of these foods is engineered to make us overeat, overriding our sense of portion control. Many of these foods are what is known as hyper-palatable. They are designed with the perfect combination of salt, sugar, and fat to be intensely rewarding to our brains. When you eat them, your brain releases dopamine, a powerful neurotransmitter associated with pleasure. This creates a feedback loop that encourages you to keep eating, even when you are no longer physically hungry. Furthermore, many processed foods have a vanishing caloric density. They dissolve quickly in the mouth, which can trick your brain into thinking you've consumed less than you actually have. The feeling of fullness, or satiety, is diminished. This psychological drive is compounded by the packaging. A bag of mozzarella sticks or French fries may contain 3 or 4 official servings, but it is psychologically easy to consume the entire package in one sitting, a phenomenon known as mindless eating. So, what are your defenses against this? First is conscious portioning. Never eat directly from the bag or box. Read the serving size on the label. Measure that exact amount onto a plate and put the rest of the package away before you begin to eat. Second, shop smarter. When possible, choose products that are already packaged in single-serving, portion-controlled containers. Ultimately, the most effective strategy is to prioritize foods that promote satiety. The fiber in vegetables and the protein in lean meats create a natural feeling of fullness that highly processed foods are specifically designed to bypass. We have discussed the high sodium content in these meals. Now let's focus specifically on what that means for one of the most critical health metrics, your blood pressure. For anyone managing high blood pressure or actively working to prevent it, this point is of vital importance. Excess sodium in your bloodstream pulls water into your blood vessels, increasing the total volume of blood inside them. This increased volume pushes against the walls of your vessels, causing blood pressure to rise. Let us reiterate the numbers from the American Heart Association because of their importance. The recommendation is under 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day for the general adult, and no more than 1,500 milligrams for those who already have hypertension. Now, consider this again. A single frozen meal can contain over 1,000 milligrams of sodium. In one single convenient meal, you may be consuming up to 70% of the entire daily sodium limit recommended for heart health. This is not a minor dietary misstep. It is a significant factor that can directly work against your efforts to control your blood pressure. Therefore, if blood pressure is a concern for you or your family, the frozen food aisle must be navigated with extreme caution. Choosing meals explicitly labeled as low sodium and verifying the number on the nutrition panel is not just a suggestion, it is a necessary measure for health management.
Beyond blood pressure, we must examine other serious threats to your cardiovascular system. One of the most insidious is the presence of artificial trans fats. The primary source of these fats for years was partially hydrogenated oils, and while the FDA has taken steps to remove them, vigilance remains critical. Artificial trans fats are scientifically proven to raise your LDL cholesterol, often referred to as bad cholesterol. This contributes to the buildup of plaque in your arteries, a condition known as atherosclerosis. This condition restricts blood flow and can lead to heart attacks and strokes. Furthermore, they are linked to an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes, another major risk factor for heart disease. Be particularly cautious with processed frozen items like fried chicken, fish sticks, French fries, and pre-made baked goods. These products are more likely to contain trans fats.
So, what is your plan of action? First, look for 0 grams trans fat on the nutrition facts label. This is your first step. However, you must take a critical second step. Scan the ingredient list for the words partially hydrogenated oil. Due to a labeling loophole, products with less than 0.5 grams of trans fat per serving can be listed as 0 grams. If you see partially hydrogenated oil, the product contains trans fat. Put it back on the shelf. Instead, prioritize meals containing healthy, unsaturated fats from sources like olive oil, fish, or avocados. The consequences of these meals extend beyond our physical health. They reach into the very core of our well-being, our mental health. As Harvard Health Publishing stated in 2022, simply put, what you eat directly affects the structure and function of your brain and, ultimately, your mood. Like an expensive car, your brain functions best when it gets only premium fuel. A diet high in ultra-processed foods, including many frozen meals, is increasingly linked to negative mental health outcomes. What is the reason? The high concentration of additives, preservatives, and refined sugars we've discussed contributes to chronic inflammation and oxidative stress throughout the body, and that includes the brain. This can directly impact mood and cognitive function. Furthermore, we must consider the critical connection known as the gut-brain axis. Your digestive system is home to trillions of microorganisms that play a vital role in regulating mood. The ingredients in highly processed foods can disrupt the delicate balance of this microbiome. Scientific research has linked this disruption, this poor gut health, to increased inflammation and a higher risk for depression and other mood disorders. Therefore, the path to improving your mental health through diet follows the same principle we have been discussing. By choosing meals made from real, recognizable ingredients, you are not just nourishing your body, you are providing your brain with the high-quality fuel it needs to function at its best. You are actively supporting both your physical and mental resilience. If you're still watching and finding these details valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave the number 8 in the comments below, just to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll consider subscribing and ringing that bell so you don't miss a thing. Your support is what allows us to keep creating helpful content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's get back to it. After reviewing all of these significant health risks, from high blood pressure to the impacts on our cardiovascular and mental health, the critical question becomes, what is the alternative?
The undeniable answer, and the gold standard for health, is to consume meals prepared fresh at home from whole, unprocessed ingredients. By opting for personalized, freshly prepared meals, you can ensure that you're consuming food made from real, whole ingredients that prioritize your health and well-being. This approach not only provides a healthier alternative to frozen meals, but also offers the opportunity to enjoy delicious, customized meals tailored to your specific dietary requirements. Today, we have journeyed through the freezer aisle together and uncovered the hidden truths. From excessive sodium, sugar, and saturated fats, to worrisome preservatives, to the profound impacts on our cardiovascular and mental health. The final message is clear. While convenience has its place, it must never come at the expense of your long-term health. The power to protect and nourish your body is in your hands with every food choice you make. Prioritizing meals made from fresh, whole, unprocessed ingredients is the essential foundation for optimal wellness.
So, we want to hear from you. After watching this, what is one change you commit to making? Perhaps it's reading labels more carefully, trying one new recipe from scratch, or cutting back on one frozen meal a week. Share your commitment in the comments below. Your journey can inspire our entire community. Thank you for watching. Remember, food made from real ingredients, prepared with care, is always the healthiest and most rewarding choice for your body and your mind. Be well.